Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmosphere character of our world around us, and this time we will talk about one guy who became famous on the internet. I mean John Mearsheimer, American professor of political science, if I remember correctly, from Chicago, seemingly of German origin, maybe German Jewish. There are different versions of this, but it doesn't matter. The most important is what this guy is talking about, and this guy refers very often to current Russian-Ukrainian conflicts and in general conflict between Russia and the Western countries, so NATO countries, one can say, roughly. Yeah, very interesting topic on time, really ongoing conflict, ongoing problems, so we need some comments, some analysis. But if one listens to the analysis of Mr. John Mearsheimer, one quickly realizes that this guy is really following a purely Russian and Chinese agenda, because he does many intellectual exercises to justify Russian moves and to justify Russian agenda and to make Russia look like a victim of Western imperialism. This is old tactics of all Russian diplomacy and propagandists to make Russia look as a victim, that Russia didn't have to participate in the partitions of Poland, but they had to. This propaganda was taking place since Katerina the Great Empress, that she didn't want to take part into partitions of Poland or aggressions on Turkey in Balkans and Caucasus, but they really had to, because they were forced. But the situation was different, because they were willingly taking part into the partitions of Poland, because before the partitions, before Prussia and Austria joined dividing Polish state, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, in fact, Polish state, Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, was a dependent state on Russia, so Russian ambassador was actually ruling from his post in Warsaw. But geopolitics changed and Russia had to share the Polish cookie in between two partners, additional ones, so Austria and Prussia. So they were eagerly participating in partitions of Poland to take as much as possible for them and incorporate these lands into their country. So we see that from this what Mr. John Mearsheimer is talking, he is simply either useful idiot or paid agent of influence of a Russian secret service, because he always justifies Russian moves, and if he is to be another advisor of US government, he will explain them in a very convincing and scientific way how good and useful for United States it is to give back to Russia, in quotation, give back all lands from Oder River to Dnieper and give them their sphere of influence. Of course, it won't be good for US, because then Russia will prepare the ground of kicking them out of Europe. But on a short run, it might be good, because then US would have to invest less in the defense of Europe. But it would be good only on a short run. But such people like Mr. Mearsheimer really represents clear Russian interests and point of view. And the interesting question to people like me is always, how did such person make it to the tenure position in the prestigious political science institution in US with such views and such determination of defending of the point of view of the enemy of the United States? This is a very good question. And as I said, I interpreted either he is useful idiot or paid agent of the influence. And Mr. Mearsheimer, defending Russians' interest in Eastern and Central Europe, doesn't mention that Russia, together with China, is working hard in overthrowing African regimes, mainly in Sahel, to cause more and more immigration into the European countries just to destabilize them. Yes, I still say that European industrial owners want to have more consumers and more workers. That's why they press European governments to take more and more immigrants. But once Russia and China takes control of Libyan or Algerian ports, it can happen at any time, the influx of so-called immigrants, newcomers as I call them, will be so huge that even these industrial owners and European governments will not be able to control it, and Europe will be completely destabilized, and it will be turned into one big skirmish and battleground between newcomers and ethnic inhabitants of Europe. Then Russia and China will be dominating the entire Eurasia, because United States will not have enough force to introduce the order again. So this is, in my opinion, the larger agenda larger agenda behind these actions of Russia mainly, and also to some extent China in Africa, to overthrow the regimes and take control of these countries. They will use demographics of Africa to destabilize Western Europe mainly, and take control of Eastern and Central Europe as they want, and China will use it to keep United States busy, to introduce as much as possible new order in the part of Pacific they consider as their own sphere of influence. So we have to be careful listening to such people like Mr. John Mersheimer, who always justifies Russian or there are his equivalent justifying Chinese point of view at any cost, especially when they are employed in so-called prestigious Western institutions. And I hope that he will not be, and people like him, advisors of the future US governments, because then we will be really in trouble. All the best, have a nice day, bye.